What did we last end with? God-forsaken poon tang, right? You ever have sex with somebody you really wish that you hadn't had sex with them? It's crazy, like, you know, women, they whine about that all the time, about how they're taken advantage of, or men are toxic and all this shit. You love to exploit the fact that they want you so bad. They can't control themselves when it comes to those titties that you got. Okay? I was watching that shit happen tonight. Men cannot control themselves. Women know this. They take advantage of that shit. So they wear revealing clothing and exploit men's nature. And then they wonder why bad things happen. Now, I'm not saying that it's all women, but I would strongly suggest that it's mainly women that do this to themselves. And I get on to all my friends about the scandalous clothing that they wear, and they get mad that they get looked at a certain way. It's like, what the fuck do you expect? I mean, I hate that human beings are so predictable like that, you know? Shut the fuck up. Sorry, I was talking to this little cold brew bottle. It's empty. I'm using it as a vase to hold these flowers that are obviously dead. Dead and wilting, and have been doing so for the past several weeks. But isn't that great? I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, so we were talking about poontang, right? The horrors of poontang. Well, you know, I don't think that women end up staying with a man because he's such a good lay. I mean, except me, of course. But that's because I hate sex. So if I can meet somebody that I'm attracted to, and like really, really in love with, and I could see myself procreating with them, you know, then it's like, that's amazing that I could possibly feel that way about somebody, and also want to sacrifice my precious alone time, which is sacred, you know? But that feeling doesn't usually last very long. But like I said, I used to be somewhat of a degenerate, so, and not a Christian, you know? You can't be expected to behave like a Christian if you're not a Christian. We live in this world, and I've really wrestled with a lot of these things, but, you know, it's just the way that we used to be. The way that we used to be, and also, you know, psychologically dealing with a lot. So, gotta cut myself a little bit of slack. It's like, dude, if God can cut me some slack, I think that I ought to calm down and stop beating myself up. As much fun as self-flagellating is, but anyway, yeah, what I was thinking about in relation to women complaining about a sexual encounter, you know, they want it to be something that it's not, and they have regrets. I mean, I have plenty of regrets when it comes to sex, but I'm not gonna like try to ruin somebody's life over that shit. I mean, if I feel like somebody took advantage of me, I'll totally confront them, and I have done that. And different dudes that I've encountered or had some sort of thing with, they can attest to the fact that I explained to them straight to their fucking face that, you know, whatever they did was not cool with me, and I had to tell them, and they shouldn't behave that way in the future, and da-da-da-da-da, motherfucking da-da. you know? It's like women don't want to have these conversations. They want to do that with everybody else. They want to do that shit online. They want to do that shit with a therapist. Why don't you talk to the person themselves? If they are right there and you have the opportunity to talk to them, you are wrong if you do not. Because you are not only negatively impacting yourself, because you're always going to regret that, whether you realize that shit or not. You're always going to regret that. And you're always going to be thinking, what if he does it to somebody else? He probably is doing that to somebody else right the fuck now, because I didn't say anything. You know, maybe he won't change his behavior. Maybe he'll still be an asshole, but at least you said something. At least you stood up for yourself. That's the whole thing. Women want to say they're standing up for themselves through a fucking hashtag, bitch. Are you serious? Through a hashtag? Like, this is what I'm talking about. Women are so fucking fake. Like, they're fine with the fact that, like, let's pretend that women aren't lying sexist shit. Let's pretend that they're not total hypocrites and they don't love to think that they're victims when they're not actual victims. And then they purposely put themselves in situations where they do end up victims. And I think that they do this shit so they can whine about it. And they can say, oh, I didn't know. Yeah, the fuck you did, bitch. Everybody knows that sexual intercourse happens in a hotel room. Okay? You think it's all about the fucking vending machines and the ice and the fucking jacuzzi or the sauna or whatever the fuck? I don't think it is. I think it's because people want to fuck there. Okay? I mean, the jacuzzi's nice, but the room is better. Right? But I always make an exception for Rose McGowan because I love the fuck out of Rose McGowan, and she fought Harvey Weinstein like the crazy bitch that she is. I know that she did. She must have fucking clawed the shit out of him. But she actually fought, and she lost something, and she got blacklisted and all this shit. All these other women, like, here's how you know that people are lying. Here's how you know that people are totally full of shit. Like, look at what they've lost versus what they've gained. Alright? Like, I know she got a book deal and all that shit. Whatever. They're just using her to pretend that they're taking down predators. So Harvey Weinstein, as if he's the worst one. Like, you got way worse motherfuckers in the business that are raping kids over and over and over, and they'll never tackle that issue. They will never, ever, ever motherfucking ever tackle that issue, because keep in mind, Me Too was originally about child molestation in the black community. They're never going to talk about that. But anyway, back to what I was trying to say. Women regret sexual encounters. Men are now really starting to regret sexual encounters. So before it was just women feeling like they were used, and men didn't actually care about them. And I mean, yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, he did use you because you're just a fucking object to him, you know? I mean, technically that... I mean, can you prove that you're not an object? How about that? Can you prove, especially when you're wearing that clothing, and you're getting free drinks off of him? Like, can you prove that you're not an object? Just really likes booze, alright? Really like them martinis. But anyway. Yeah, men and women having regrets about sex. How about we just stop having sex? How about that? How about until we find somebody that's worth dying for? Because love ain't love unless it's worth dying for. You know? That's why Jesus is the best. That's why we should, like, follow in his example. So, you know, it's really important that we show the things that we love, that we really and truly love them. And that's only through grace. You know, we got to accept people when they're bad. We got to accept people when they fail. And we have to forgive them.